Welcome, amazing agents and investors from across the country. Today is Thursday, July 25th, 2019, and this is Mastermind call number 237. I was briefly on the last call, so any partners, any news to share from the last call? Winner of the week, any news you want to share before we get to the, we only have one person in the queue. And again, guys, don't be bashful. Hit *6 and hit 1. And you'll be up next. Nothing's out of bounds on these calls. You know, it's you set the agenda. So *6 and hit 1, and we have one person in there. I think it's Aaron. Partners, anything you want to share before we get started?
I think we needed to go back and take a look at the winner of the week last week. And in the beginning of the call, I was kind of there alone. Chad was unavailable till we got rolling, and I don't remember. We had one person who had gotten a couple of listings, and unfortunately I didn't make notes of that, so we need to go back and look at it again, and we'll award that unless somebody can remember.
Well, I know James McCrae had taken 3 listings and 4 in the pipeline, but I can't remember if that was last week or the previous week.
That was the week before. James was the winner 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, okay. I think it was. We'll go back and listen. It was the first person I think that got talking last time. We'll go back and review it and award it.
See what happens when I don't show up. Just everything falls apart. That's why I'm
making me that.
Any other news you guys want to share this week?
I just wanted to share. So Probate Mastery, you guys have probably have by this time seen the emails and Facebook posts, but Probate Mastery, July Mastery starts on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. A whole lot, like 20 people have been registered as alumni. So if you requested to be part of the group for alumni through our support system, I have registered you. And I know a few more of you are on Facebook asking to be registered as alumni. So I'll get those manual registrations done. If you have not taken Mastery before and want to register, you can find it on our Facebook page. You can find it in your email, or you can find it on alltheleads.com. But it'll be next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 2 p.m. until we finish, which is usually between 4 and 6, depending on how interactive the group is.
Perfect. And you shared, Chad, that one person had taken it. It was a ridiculous number of times. How many was it? 24 times? Is that?
This week will be
right?
Joyce's 14th trip.
Okay. 14th time. Well, I think anything over 12, I think she's officially a Chad groupie. She's a Mastery groupie. That's awesome. Yeah. But if you guys don't know what we're talking about, you pay for Mastery one time, but after that, you can take it as many times as you want, and the content is incredible. There's courses out there that people pay thousands of dollars for that doesn't come close to the content. And Chad, I think it started out as 3 one-hour sessions, and the last one went about 12 hours, 11 and a half, 12 hours, something like that.
11 and a half is our record, yeah.
Yeah, and fortunately, Chad doesn't charge by the word or by the hour, or nobody be able to afford it, right?
Thanks, I think. Thanks.
Yeah, it's a compliment. I'm just kidding. Giving you a hard time. All right. We have one person in the queue, guys. I hope it's a very long question or story. Don't be shy. We've got nearly 100 people on this call. You got to be having issues, questions, concerns. Nothing is too basic or too complicated. You know, if it's a very if it is a really complicated situation, we'll call you back after the call, but don't be shy. Hit *6 and hit 1, and you can do that now. There you go. Now we got people chiming in. And now, see, all I had to do is ask 3 times. Now we got, okay, guys, the queue is full. I'm just kidding. We got 6 in there, so good job, guys. That'll keep us busy for a while. All right, first up this week is phone number ending in 6483. You're up first.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Is that Aaron?
Aaron.
Awesome. For those of you that don't know who Aaron is, Aaron Wittenstein, he has, I think it's probably the largest and certainly the best I've seen as far as content Facebook groups out there. Lead Gen Scripts and Objections, it's LGSO. And Aaron has been an affiliate of ours for years, and we finally talked him into he's an active realtor, so we finally convinced him to actually get the leads and start using them himself. And he had a success. I know he wanted to share it with us. And Aaron, anything else you want to add? The floor is yours. It sounds like you're on the road.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be on the road, then I'm heading back into my house, and then I'm on the road again. So, yeah.
Awesome.
No, so I've been talking to you guys forever. You know, I mean, just, you know, you guys are awesome. I actually just had a really good conversation with Chad this morning that motivated me to get some more stuff done, which I'll get to in a second. But one of the mailers, someone called me off of, and he basically said, I want to come talk to you. I sat down and talked with the guy. He called me a couple of days later and said he wants to list his property with me. What I thought was the coolest part about this is this guy's wife passed. Gosh, it was like 3 months prior, and he was home just by himself as all his family's in Florida. And the one thing the guy told me, he's like, you were just so pleasant is the best way to put it. And it was just nice being there to help someone out, which is what made me want to get a lot more into doing this. And I think, you know, I know there's a huge opportunity. So after speaking with Chad today, what I did, I have like 5 to 10 attorneys that I work with regularly for different facets of business. And I emailed out all of them and said, you know, I'm looking to connect with probate attorneys. Who do you know? One of the guys that I do real estate, one of my real estate attorneys messaged me right away and says, I actually do that kind of work myself. So him and I were going to go get together, grab a cup of coffee, grab a beer, and kind of discuss how we could help each other out on that end. Because I really want to build out this area of my business, you know, I mean, not just because, you know, I think when you get in with people, it's automatic business, you know, that's, you know, pretty awesome, but it's also you get the ability to really help people, which is even better. So I'm excited to, like, dive right into it.
Awesome. And so basically your first deal was just to kind of a come get me from a letter. You didn't even get around to calling them yet, right?
No, and I've got a pipeline now, you know, because I have you guys doing the calling for me, where I've got like 10 or 12 leads that have been given to me, or that are in the process of being cultivated as well. So.
Awesome. Chad,
And
you had a comment.
Just so you guys know who you're listening to, Aaron is like a FSBO expired master, to the point where he prospects live every morning in front of 55,000 people. And part of the conversation we had this morning was just how different a probate transaction and a probate client is compared to what we would think of as a conventional listing. And they're just so much easier and so much more rewarding. And that was part of our conversation this morning. Like, it's what got me to, I completely quit all other lead generation on the listing side of my business, because probate I had a high enough conversion rate, and they were the best clients I'd ever had. And I'm excited to see, I mean, as good as Aaron is in FSBO expired, I think you're going to set the world on fire in probate.
I'm excited. I mean, the cool part is I got a good team of people to help over here, you know, because, I mean, this isn't a commercial by any means whatsoever. I've known you guys long enough where it's nice to be able to reach out to these guys, and they just know so much. I mean, Chad, I was talking to you for 45 minutes, I don't even know, and he knows his stuff, and to have this system in place where you could, I don't know, it's really good what you guys are doing, so that's pretty much it.
And Aaron, kudos to you. I've been doing this for nearly 40 years. I've never seen anybody else that's had the guts to go online live and prospect in front of people. So you obviously are not afraid of fear of failing. Anybody wants to do that, Aaron, what days do you prospect live online?
Whenever I feel like it. It sounds
okay. You just
so put it in your calendar, guys.
You know, when I'm having a bad day, when I don't want to prospect, and my morale's really low, and I don't want to do it, that's when I go live, because I'm like, shoot, I got, you know, 20, 30, 40, 100 people watching me. I've got to be on my game.
That's called grit, dude. That is grit at its best.
So if people want to see that, just go join your group, and you'll send out a notice every time you do it?
No, it pops up. People get notifications on there. You know, if I do it, I should say when I do it, it's going to be somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning. So.
Okay. Excellent.
And it just pops up in the lower left as Aaron Wittenstein is live in LGSO. Like, so if you're on Facebook, it'll notify you.
So listen to what these guys say. They know what the hell they're talking about, and I don't really think most people know what they're talking about. So.
Thank you, Aaron. Thanks so much for coming on. Congratulations on the first of many listings.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much. All right.
All right, buddy. Thanks to you too. All right, next up is phone number ending in 8564. You're up next.
Tim, Thurmon here from New Jersey. How are you?
Good, good. How you doing, sir?
Oh, pretty good. Well, got my first set of leads this month, and the letters went out last week. Got my first phone call today, and it was someone who says, I have no real estate. Are you an attorney? I'm like, no, I'm not. Well, that's what your letter says. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It says we help people do all different kinds of things. She says, well, you need to rewrite the letter because probate is a process, and you don't want to be looked at as practicing law without a license. And then he hung up. So I thought that was interesting. I didn't get his name. And the phone number that he called me from was not one of the numbers in the list of numbers that I got from you guys. So I can't even take him off the list so he doesn't get another mailing.
Okay. Well, the good news is you probably don't want to call him back, I guess. So
yeah.
that's a good thing.
I don't want to waste another stamp on him either.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I get it. I get it.
I don't know that that'll ever happen again. But if it does, your best response is, no, but we actually have probate attorneys on the team. Why do you ask?
Well, that's what I said to him. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought it was kind of curious.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's the first.
We call that a lightning strike. I can't tell you how many people we've had. That was actually relatively mild, but over the years we've had dozens of people, like their very first call, somebody will just really light into them, and we say it's like getting hit by lightning. It'll probably never happen again. And so far, knock on wood, I don't think we've ever had anybody call back and say, it happened again. Generally, it's, you just got an ornery person for your first contact and, just move on. Hopefully, hopefully you won't keep mailing to him, but not much you can do about that. He'll probably call again if you do, and before he hangs up, get his name and his address so you can take him off the list.
Right.
All right?
Okay. The other thing was my website is not quite set up yet, and they talked about having the DNS transferred to you guys, but the way that works isn't quite in sync. So I sent a support request in with a screenshot of what it looks like. So hopefully we can get that squared away.
Did you follow that, Chad? I didn't, or Tim?
Yeah.
I didn't follow that. Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Are you saying you need us to do it for you? I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, I went to do it myself, and I'm supposed to have a DNS number. I guess it's transferred to your server, but the instructions that I was given aren't consistent with GoDaddy's website. So I took a screenshot and sent in a support request to see if I can get this straightened out.
Sent in a support request to us or to GoDaddy?
No, to you.
Okay. Well, we can't fix your GoDaddy problem without your login and information to GoDaddy. So, I mean, if you we can reach out to you, and I'm sure that Toby or Emmett will reach out to you and contact you about it. But
okay.
We convert. All you need to do is just change the pointer in GoDaddy, and we'll take a look at what you sent in, and we'll make sure we get you squared away. But we do this every day.
Great. Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right. I recognize the next name up, Cliff, in phone number ending in 8904. You're up next.
Well, hi guys, this is Cliff Blackman here in Florida. Glad to be back on the line. And,
welcome back.
Thank you. I have a question for you guys. Is there a 4-hour window that if you had to pick a 4-hour window for making calls that you would prefer? That you say, probably have better luck calling between these hours?
In a week or in a day?
No, I mean, for example, like I have an assistant who I want to assign to be making calls for me to try to hook me up with some meetings. And so my inclination was, call between 4 and 8 p.m., people getting off work, getting home. But I don't know. I was wondering if you had any thoughts about best hours to be making phone calls to reach people.
personally, my best results have been 8 to 10 a.m. and 4 to 6 p.m. So you're trying to catch people on their commutes, before they go to work or after work. So those have been the best times for me, and midweek, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 10, 4 to 6. And then you can kind of use that as a baseline. I won't be able to go up until 8 p.m. I wouldn't really start much earlier.
Hey, Chad, you're breaking up. Do you guys hear Chad okay, or is it just me?
He is breaking up.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to let you know.
Did you say that I heard you say 8 to 10, 4 to 6 midweek are probably the best hours. I guess that's consistent with the MIT research, right? The 4 to 8, do you think it's too late to call 6 to 8 p.m.? Did I lose
Chad?
you here?
Well, we told him he was breaking up. I'm sure he'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Cliff,
Well, anybody
he's probably logging back in.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm with Chad that you've seen that MTI study. The other thing I used to do, Cliff, I found when I was an agent, my partners get me tired of hearing me talk about this, but I used to make 100 contacts a day every day, and
Wow.
I found the people that didn't answer almost never answered during conventional time. So I would give somebody like 3 shots, and if they didn't answer 3 times, I'd put them on a nights to weekends list, like a 6 to 8 p.m. or 1 day a week on Saturday. I'd come in Saturday afternoon, make the calls, and I had a really high success rate with the people. If you're calling during conventional times, you're not getting anybody. Switch it up and try a little bit different time.
How would you create separate lists for call lists or something? I mean, how
well,
do you
this
use
was
CRM to track
no.
that?
I hope Chad's coming back because this
I'm
was
here, Jim.
20. Oh, good. This was 20 years ago. It was before auto dialers. I had 2 headsets. I would call on one phone then the other, and I was manually using pieces of paper. So Chad, give him a better way to do that, please.
Yeah. So bear with me on my call quality because I'm in Canada and we can't dial into this line. I can only dial in on Wi-Fi. So if something happens.
Oh, you poor guy. Hopefully. Canada, huh?
You're perfect now. You're perfect now.
Oh, was I not perfect before, Jim?
Well, your voice quality, yes, of course.
I think I missed the beginning of that. So, Cliff, you're trying to figure out how you can keep track of who you called in the morning and who you called in the afternoon. You're asking about splitting the list that way?
Yeah, there was a comment there that if I couldn't reach people after 3 times, I'd put them on a once-a-week call. Or something like that. And I was just wondering how you organize that because there's so many.
What I would recommend is using the short code function in our CRM. So if you've noticed, you can do like a hashtag. You could do hashtag morning, hashtag evening. And when you do call somebody on the morning list, just give them a hashtag morning, and that will make them sortable by the morning calls. And anyone who doesn't have a morning and evening, you could call them in the evening and add the evening tag. So you can use those short codes to kind of customize your CRM. It's just a really simple way that we give you flexibility so you can kind of customize it to fit your unique needs. So that's probably the most efficient way you could do it. The other way you could do it is just simply typing in the notes, called 8 a.m. or 8 to 10 list, something like that.
We do
but I
that.
think the short codes would be
No, I like the idea of
a
being
lot
able to
easier
sort it.
because you can sort.
Yeah. And are you finding that there's a mailer that's more effective? I mean, for all of the thousands of mailings that we've done, people don't call. They don't get calls in response to mailing. Although, I call them and you probably got my mailer. I hope you got my mailer and explain blah, blah, blah. So it's an intro, that they've received our green envelope, et cetera. I was wondering if you found any particular mailers more effective. Like I like the trifold that you guys produced for me. And I've mailed that sometimes, but still I don't get calls on them. Are there any suggestions for whether the most effective ones are?
Every letter that you see in the mailbox motivator has earned its way there. So it's proven to produce in some market in one of 50 states, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be there. The losers didn't make the cut. So those letters have all been effective for somebody somewhere, or multiple somebodies, and you know, so they all work. What we recommend, you know, is, as Jay Abraham says, there's no such thing as a marketing budget, only a test budget. So a letter that's working in Phoenix might not work for you in Florida. You know, never be afraid to change things up. The biggest thing is frequency. We find that, you know, all of our letters have kind of a common tone to them. It's a very empathetic, helpful approach versus I. So it's more about getting it there at the right time. And even if you're not getting the direct response, you know, if you send out 100 letters and you get one phone call every other month, that's actually about average. Now, a lot of us do a lot better than that, but even if you're not getting that direct response, it does warm up your phone call. So when you do make contact, and the other thing is the nature of the mail we send, the reason we use the greeting card envelope with a hand address is they stick around. So we have a lot of folks that, you know, you'll start getting come list me calls 6 months. Once you've been doing this for 6 months, it's pretty much guaranteed you'll start seeing some of those come list me calls because the mail sticks around, and one day they have that emotional breakthrough and they say, you know what, this needs dealt with today. And a lot of our folks get those phone calls, and they will admit, I got 40, 50 letters from mostly investors, but you're the only call I made, because it's just such a different message that we're sending. It's a different offer. So it's, you know, don't be afraid to switch up your mail pieces and test.
Okay. All right.
But don't be
I'm
super discouraged.
In, maybe adding a postcard to the mix. Is that a less expensive mailing to do the postcards?
Yes,
the same cost. Oh, it is?
No, it's going to be less.
Just thinking maybe
and if you want to call, and if you call our main line, I think Alyssa would be the right person to kind of chat with about that, about laying out a new sequence, and she can help you make sure you design exactly what you want.
Okay. All right.
All right, Cliff. We got the studs on today's call. We got Cliff is, if those of you that don't know, Cliff, you are probably in the most hyper-competitive market in the country, and I'll bet we've had a dozen people swear to us that it just doesn't work in your market, and you're proving that it works anywhere despite the competition. Well, I know you had
I'd
some
like to do more, but I've had 6. I mean, the last 2 that I did, I got the contract in 10 days and substantially over the list price. You know, quite a lot over the list, which was very encouraging, as long as I could get the right list price from my client. But that worked great. And all right, well, I'll stay on top of all this. Thanks for all your work, guys, and I'll call Alyssa, talk about the mailers.
Perfect. Thank you, Cliff. All right, we got a ton in the queue, guys. We're probably going to have to close the queue in about 5 minutes. So, last call. If you want to jump in there, hit *6 and hit 1, and we'll get to you no matter how long it takes. Next up is phone number ending in 4551. You're up next.
Hi, this is Janet Fisher, and I'm in Arizona. And I have not joined, but they said I could come listen to your calls. But I just have a couple of questions. Since the county is not open for me to join in Arizona that I live in, which is Maricopa, I have a question: is how someone earlier was talking about knowing attorneys and getting leads that way. But if you don't know an attorney, how difficult is it to get introduced to an attorney when you don't have another attorney to do the introduction?
Good question.
If you're confident and competent, it's fish in a barrel. Attorney prospecting is easier than personal rep prospecting because I guarantee you, they have not met a real estate professional that has a broad scope of service that covers everything in the probate that's non-legal. And you approach them with that as your value points. So my business picks up where yours leaves off. We consider you a partner and a member of our team. And I noticed that you're doing X number of deals each month. So I just wanted to introduce myself and let you know that we're here in the community. We're here to help your business and your clients. And what we do is a perfect complement and no way competing. And by the way, I've got a lot of past clients that I'd like to get in your office so you can set up an estate plan for them. Should we start that today or tomorrow?
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And
Okay.
you will, we're going to have, hopefully tomorrow at 5, tomorrow I'm recording a video that I've been looking forward to for a couple of years. I don't know if you see our tips from the trainer stuff on our blog, but we have an outstanding probate attorney, been in the business 20 years. He's also a real estate agent, very savvy, very professional. And we're going to be doing an hour-long video. We're going to unpack this entire conversation. And he's very generous and willing to give. So we'll hear it from the horse's mouth, how you can not be valuable to an attorney, how you can get the door slammed in your face, but also what does work and what is valuable to a probate attorney. So you guys have heard it from us for years. We're going to have a very successful probate attorney that's his core business, and you'll be able to hear it directly from him. And hopefully that will be probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. It'll be published for you guys.
And how would I get to the blog if I'm not a member?
alltheleads.com, and then click on blog in the menu.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And I'm just waiting to become a member until I can get some leads.
Janet, I just checked. You're on the wait list, so we will, as soon as the spot opens up, we'll let you know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be a naysayer. It's just I know how agents are in the Valley. Once they get a hold of something good, they never let go.
Oh, boy, you'd be surprised. I was an agent, and I know how many try something this month and something else the next month. So it's kind of, you're right. The smart ones don't let go if it's good, but a lot of them kind of adopt to the flavor of the month club. So a spot will open up, I promise. It's just a matter of time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. All right, guys, we have 5 more in the queue. Next up is phone number ending in 4512. You're up next.
Hey, guys, this is Richard in Birmingham. How y'all doing today?
Fine, Richard.
Hey, Richard.
How about you?
I am doing fine. Chad, how are you? Been a while since I've talked to you.
I'm doing well. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, you too. Hey, I just want to say I heard Aaron got on first thing this morning. And, hey, I've been with him with the lead gen group guys for years. And, and of course with Vulcan7 and for the new guys that are just coming on, it really helped me when I had, of course I do Vulcan7 for sale by owner and expires, but, plugging in the probate leads that you have into their system, that's what I use every day, and it just works out great.
Richard, you have any recent deals you want to tell us about or listings that you've taken? Or?
Well, I heard someone else talk about the letters, didn't get a whole lot of response or whatever, but, I think I started with you guys back in February and or March, and, I get a come list me call just about off each month off of the mailings. So I've had.
And how many are in each list, Richard?
I average, Chad, here, I've had anywhere from 75 up to 105 here in the greater Birmingham area. So, but like I said, I've just about every month, as soon as they hit, it seems like it's always on that first day that I get someone before, because I usually wait maybe a day or two, and because, of course, I still do my expires and for sale by owners, and but most of the time, as soon as they hit, I'll get someone a call to come list me, and so it's worked out real well. But it is a lot, and as you well know, and most of you guys have done for sale by owners and expired calls. I do cold calling every morning, but for the new people that's just now getting into probates, I mean the calls are so much easier than than the others.
Imagine that. There's not 100 other people calling them. Richard, in your market, how often are you the only person calling them when they tell you nobody else called them? Is that common, or is there other people working probates?
Well, not just that. You'd be surprised. I'm usually, of course, I guess I might probably are getting them before everybody else, but no, I don't. The only time they just at first they think I'm an investor. and I kind of have to get over that hurdle. And so
Sure.
then I tell them that I'm not an investor. Hey, I'm here to help you, if anything you need. But the biggest thing is, as a local realtor also, that I suggest, we have 2 or 3 different options for your property. But if you want to get the most out of it, we can put it on the MLS and get as much for your estate as we can. And so that's, it's not a whole lot of, not a whole lot of competition on the calls other than investors is what I'm finding.
Sure. Good for you. Congratulations. That's awesome. Keep coming back and sharing. We appreciate it.
There you go. Thanks, y'all. Have a great day.
All right, buddy. Take care. We got 3 more in the queue, guys. I'm going to open it back up. We probably have room for 1 or 2 more. If you want to hop in there, hit *6 and hit 1. We had a couple people drop out. Probably had to go get a listing. Next up is phone number ending in 7533. You're up next.
Hello. This is Donna from Central Florida. How are you today?
Great, Donna. Love your energy.
Good. Thank you. So I've got another mailer question for you. Sometimes the attorney for the case is also the personal representative. And I've picked a letter, the project manager letter, to go out automatically as soon as they hit. How do you feel about a project manager letter going out to an attorney? Because they're probably going to get that letter more than once, because I see their names coming up every time they're the personal representative. Should I be concerned with that?
What is the project manager letter?
Oh, it basically says that I can be a project manager, and it's one of your letters that I have a team of people, from
you mean the personal
up.
Representative?
Well, the personal representative is sometimes also the attorney. Now, one of your letters is labeled the project manager letter, and it just basically says, we have a team of people to help. Just, from investors if they want a quick sale or repairs or clean outs and things like that. It's one of your letters. But my concern is your letter is addressed more to an individual and not an attorney, but sometimes attorneys are the personal representative.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
So, I do. You just have to decide if you want to add complexity to your campaign. Like, you can pull those out and send them separate letters. As I said earlier, for the earlier caller, it's, these letters are all proven, and it's more important that it shows up at the right time than exactly what the letter says. The tone of the letter kind of gets you through the door and differentiates you. As far as copy, it's not, all those letters work. And that what you're seeing, the reason the 2 fields match, that's most likely a public administrator. So the court actually appointed that person because there was infighting in the family or no family came forward. The best thing you can possibly do is get that person on the phone and get an appointment with them. So, in the mailbox, it's going to add complexity to your campaign. Like, so each month you're going to be managing 2 letters and you're going to be sending at least 3 letters. So that'll be 6 letters, and then over 3 months of time, that's going to compound into a lot of complexity that might not benefit you that much. So I would say send the same letter, but I would double down on trying to get that person on the phone. You want to follow up with them, like you want to call them early and frequently, because that's that's how they're making money. That's their profession. So they're working maybe as a probate attorney. Well, that in this case, they're obviously a probate attorney and a public administrator. So chances are they're doing multiple cases like this each year and potentially each month. So they could be a great referral partner for you. So I would say leave your mail simple, double down on your phone efforts, or go visit them in person.
Okay. And another question for you, and I know this may be for a new person, let's just say a new person with real estate experience, making 100 calls a month to these leads. What would you say is the average conversion rate of getting listings? And I know it'll take over time, and as you're, as you get better at it, you'll get a better conversion rate.
If you're confident, and this is the Donna that role played with me on the role play call, right?
Yes, and now I'm embarrassed.
I would say, I mean, a baseline, like a fair expectation, if you're diligent and you follow the system and don't try to reinvent the system, 2% conversion is achievable for anyone on this call that applies the system and they actually do do what we teach. You should be able to get 2% all day long. Now, there are people on this call that are converting at 40 to 50%, and they're in smaller, they might have a list of 20 leads, and they're getting 10 of them over a 3-month period. They'll get 10 out of that list. Everybody's not going to achieve that, especially if you're in a big city where it's super competitive. But you should be able to achieve 2% just marketing to the personal representatives. Now, when you start to build your referral network, and every probate attorney, nursing home employee, estate planning attorney, registered investment advisor, when all the wealth managers, when all those people in your community understand what you do, and they're sitting down with the baby boomers having those tough conversations, and real estate comes up, you're the first name that gets, they give you a call and say, please contact my clients. They have real estate needs. When you get to that level where you've built out your referral network, you should be able to at least double what you're doing on your marketing. So think of this as you've got a marketing arm of your campaign and a referral network arm. And get your marketing up first, like find some success there, then go build your referral network with the attorneys and everyone else. But you should be able to probably double your conversion. And we have some folks that are doing 60% off of their referral network, the attorneys and fiduciaries and public administrators, and 40% off their marketing efforts. But the key is all this kind of works in tandem. Like, you shouldn't stop marketing to the personal representatives because you find success with the attorneys, and vice versa. You shouldn't not be out there prospecting attorneys just because you're doing really well with your marketing to the personal reps. If you do them both, and you're going to find far more opportunity.
Okay.
And
all right.
Donna,
and that's why. Go ahead.
I was going to embarrass you a little. You go first. Go ahead.
I was going to say that, I did change up my script, and I do appreciate what you gave me, and I have changed up the script. I've made some more calls. I'm getting more engagement, or at least conversation with people, rather than, maybe a 1-minute call to where they say, no, I'm not interested, and hang up. So I am getting more engagement, at least with the change of the script.
Perfect. And I was going to embarrass you and say if in the 6 years we have done this, honestly, yours was, I think it was hands down the best agent role play that I've heard. If anybody hasn't heard it, go back to the last Mastermind, the last role play call, and you can probably just put in Donna and it'll come up. But you did a great job there. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if your conversion rate wasn't significantly higher. The other thing I wanted to mention, as far as working personal administrators, Donna, go to our website. There's a case study there. One of our first subscribers is a guy named Bill Bird in California, B-Y-R-D, and he quickly realized how profitable and easy it was to deal with the PA with the court-appointed administrators. And he basically decided just to specialize in that. And the last we talked to him about a year or so ago, he had done, I think he did about $750,000 in commissions just on those type of deals. And he had cases where he appeared before an attorney or before a judge, and judges started recommending him in divorces that weren't even probate. Because he got so familiar with the players, the judges and the attorneys that did this for a living. So I'd recommend you listen to that case study also. He's a real good example. Okay.
Okay, will do. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We have 2 more in the queue. I said it was stud day today. Next up is David Pannell. David, fire away. You there?
I'm here, but I'm here. I forgot what I was going to ask. I'm so sorry.
Well, you can't get away. You can't get away that easily. David did a case study for us about a month ago, and in a matter of fact, we broadcast that live on Aaron's group recently, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback. I'll talk for a minute and see if you can remember what your question was. So, it coming to you, David, or not?
No, it's just more geared towards role play, so I'll just wait until the beginning of August.
Okay. David, I keep telling people, you have gotten, David did nothing with our leads for months. I think it was 6 months, and he has gotten phenomenal results with old leads. And I love the story you told in that interview. In the interview, I think you said you did a deal with someone. The 47th time you called them, you finally got them to answer, and you ended up doing a deal with them. Am I exaggerating, or is that accurate?
A little bit, but it's more than 12 or 13 phone calls.
Okay.
It's different times we know when we're calling.
It was some ridiculous number, but you do extremely well with the old leads and with calling people over and over again, right?
We don't mean to make them old leads. We just didn't have. We were buying 5 counties, I think, Chad, 5 or 6 counties, and we found that's too much because we couldn't keep up. But now we're going back through all those, and we're just hitting. It's a gold mine. It's the sweet spots, somewhere between the 4th and 6th month.
Yeah.
And you have to make contact early to establish a relationship. You got to be willing to put that into a follow-up plan and stay true to it. And
sure.
We were buying too many leads, but we're about to ramp it back up because now it's just redefining the process and getting some more people trained on the team. But these are golden opportunities for wholesale deals and whatever the family needs. Cleaning up the house, whatever they need, it's just fabulous. They are
Chad,
truly the best clients we could have.
Yeah, we couldn't agree more. Chad was mentioning before how different probate is from FSBOs and Expireds as far as how to work them. And in a lot of agents, they have that overlap there. They'll try probate for a month, and if they don't get enough conversations or they don't get a deal, they'll move on to something else. With FSBOs and Expireds, it's urgent that you reach them right away before some other agent gets it. Probate is almost the opposite. We would never tell you not to call them initially, but they age extremely well. 6-month-old leads, maybe 70% of them are sold, but the 20 or 30% that aren't are ready to do something now, and you've got absolutely no competition. So we can't bring that. We tell our subscribers, if you reach a little bit of a lull, go back 6 months. Start calling your 6-month-old ones again, and there's deals there. We've heard that over and over and over again. So you're a great example of that. Thank you. Any other words of wisdom before we move on to our next caller?
Just stay true to yourself and understand it's a long convert. So, all right. Well, yesterday we met somebody. The son called us. So just you never know who's going to call you. He's not the executor yet, but it's an affidavit of heirship. In Texas, they filed to transfer property. So those are not necessarily from you guys, but we went to the nursing home and just gave them advice at the nursing home. And it's just nice to be able to be in that position and to have the knowledge that you guys are putting out in the world. It's just we're able to serve the public better, and I love it.
Thank you, sir. And I can tell with that attitude why you're doing so well. All right. Well, we got one more person in the queue. Anything you want to add, Chad, to David's comments?
No, just thanks for always being here and being engaged with our folks. We appreciate it.
Excellent. We have one more person in the queue. We got room for more, guys. We had a few people in there that dropped out, so hit *6 and then hit 1. Otherwise, this may be the first time in a year that we've gone under an hour. Last up right now is phone number ending in 6644. You're up now.
Hi there, this is Ben in Waco, Texas.
Yes, sir.
Just bought the mastery course. I'm a little, I guess, a fish out of water from all the calls that I've heard. I am a new wholesaler. I've done 2 or 3 deals, wholesaling, smaller deals. I just closed on one small deal and said I need a niche, and so I need to invest in something. So I invested in the course because I had listened to him, Chad, on another wholesaler's webinar on YouTube. So my question is, I've been going to the court and gathering
probate list. Waco's very friendly. They just kind of give them out, and getting ready to compile that list. And so on a very limited budget, I'm kind of I'm missing what to do and how to start. Do I just take that list and skip trace it and then use the basic letters and phone calls until I can afford the system? I just wanted to see what you guys recommend the first step to be.
Sure.
As a wholesaler.
So, I mean, we try to make our knowledge base available to everybody that really wants to make a difference and be successful in this niche. So you've got over 600 hours of resources to listen to. If you haven't found our YouTube channel and if you haven't looked at alltheleads.com blog, there's tons and tons of training resources available to you.
Okay.
What you'll hear is kind of the minimum effective dose that we recommend is 3 letters, each followed by a phone call, 30 days between each. So you're at a minimum, you should be marketing for a quarter, and you should be sending direct mail and following that with a phone call. Both, you'll get some deals off of the phones, you'll get some deals off of direct response from your mail, but the combination is really what's most powerful, doing those two things in tandem. So in order to do that, you need to take the data you pulled from the courthouse. You need to go skip trace to come up with valid phone numbers for the personal representative and the attorney. Mm-hmm. And you should send it, like I said, at least put 3 letters in the mail to each one, and then follow each of those with a phone call. What I would recommend is just go into your calendar, pull your list, like whatever, if it's a month or 2 months, whatever label you want to put on that list. And then go into your calendar and put in, drop mail to the June Waco list, letter 1, and then 30 days later, letter 2, June Waco list, 30 days later, letter 3, June Waco list. And then the day, like about 2 to 3 business days beyond that, put in a calendar entry that says make phone calls, June Waco probate list number 1, and then 30 days later, number 2, number 3. So that's kind of the manual process. That's what we used to teach, years ago before we built software and everything to help manage this and make it cheaper and more efficient for you. But if you're doing that, like if you're getting letters out to each one of them and you're following with a phone call, and you need to take your investor hat off and just burn it and quit doing that. Just use your name. Don't be an investor. Don't be a realtor. Just be you. And approach them with a broad scope of service that you can help with everything non-legal. So where the attorney leaves off, your service picks up. Now, within seconds, you can segue into a real estate investor conversation. What I'm saying is don't start there. If you want to be successful, offer real value. And saying I buy houses and I close fast is not real value. I don't care what anybody says. It's not perceived as real value to the seller in the beginning of a relationship. What's really valuable is I have this big ball of stress and I don't know where to start. And when you have an offer that says I deal with big balls of stress and I make them little tiny manageable balls, then that's what resonates with them. So you need to have a team. You need to have a realtor, a good realtor that understands your side of the business. They know what wholesaling is. They know how you market. They know what a good price is for you. And they won't get in your way, but they will step in. When you can't buy that house, they will step in, they'll close the deal as a listing, and they'll give you a marketing fee to help you subsidize your marketing. And if affordability is a problem now, maybe you should just go partner with the right agent in your market, and you guys split the cost. So you get the leads. Let them pay for the mail, or let them pay for all the leads, and you pay for the mail instead of spending all your time at the courthouse. Maybe you can partner with them now versus later, as a financial, like splitting the cost, because they're going to get the majority of the deals. You're going to make a much bigger spread on the few that you get. As a listing, they might get $2,000 or $3,000 base hits, where with your wholesales, you're going to make $20,000, $30,000 a spread on a lot of these. So maybe it's time to find that agent and just go ahead and just, step up and be a subscriber now, so you're more efficient and everything's automated and you don't have to manage all this on your own. But if that's not the right move for you, make sure you've got a good team behind you. a realtor, contractors, clean-out crews, a good title attorney or title company that can handle, complex title issues. You won't find a lot, but you will find some. Senior moving companies, storage facilities, property managers, you name it. Anyone who can bring registered investment advisors, anyone can bring value to families in this situation, have them on your team. So that way you're offering something that no other investor in town is offering, and that moves your letter to the top of the pile, and you'll probably be the only phone call they make. But that's kind of the basics. If you're doing it on your own, there's a training that I've done with a few different folks on YouTube. It's called Probate Crash Course, and that's about an hour-long version of what I just very quickly ran through. So if you just can't afford it right now, go check out Probate Crash Course, and that'll show you how to do it all manually without our help.
Yeah, because, working a full-time job, that's definitely the goal, right? Because is to get to the automated system as fast as possible. One deal can do that. That's all it takes is one more deal.
Sure.
Probate Crash Course. You have a YouTube video on that.
There's 2 or 3 out there. We did one with Steve and Hal, we've done it with 2 or 3 different coaches and real estate YouTubers.
Okay.
But yeah, look at Probate Crash Course, and you'll find a couple versions of that.
All right, sir. Does that help?
I appreciate. Oh yeah, it helped a whole lot. I really do appreciate that. It gives me some, because when you take that course, there's so much information that you're receiving. It can get like almost a little overwhelming. So it's okay. How can I parcel this out? Step 1.
And you said you signed up for Mastery?
Yeah, like the Mastery course.
Yeah. Well, get ready to drink from a fire hose, sir.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I've already been drinking from the fire hose, so that's what I'm saying. So that's like, oh my God. Okay, so where do I start?
We record and archive everything because we give all we can give. So it's always there.
Yeah.
It's always recorded.
Awesome.
You can go back as many times as you need to.
Yeah, it's cool. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have one more person that jumped into the queue, and that'll take us right up to the top of the hour. Perfect. Last up this week is phone number ending in 2315.
Hello, this is Mike McCormick. Hello.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I've been following you for months. Good stuff. I'm a realtor in North Florida. I am about to sign up for your leads and your mailers when I get back from Boston next week.
Perfect.
Just a quick question. I've done expireds and FSBOs, and what would you suggest with you guys are offering about 100 plus leads up here. Should I pay for a dialer? Do you guys come with a dialer? And if so, what dialer should I buy? Mojo?
We don't have a dialer built in, but we do have a direct interface with Vulcan7. So if you're already doing FSBO expired, that's probably the best dialer with lead integration there is for that. So if you were to sign up for Vulcan7, you just need to give us your Vulcan user ID, and we'll push your probate leads through. The day they come in, they'll be loaded directly into your dialer along with your FSBO and expired leads.
Okay. If I without the FSBO and Expireds, if I don't have that, I actually stopped. I had Espresso agent. I put them on hold. I got sidetracked from real estate for a couple of months. I put them on hold. Should I bother with a dialer? Could I handle the 100 leads without a dialer?
Oh, I think you can easily manage that. I mean, what our sales team made, I think 1,234 dials last week from their handset. So, I mean, a dialer is a great tool for efficiency, but it should never be an excuse not to get started.
Okay. Okay, that's kind of, I got a million more questions, but when I get back and I'm actually in your system, which shouldn't be more than 2 weeks, I think, who's the guy that, your sales guy, Justin? I forget his name.
Jordan.
Probably Jordan.
Jordan.
Yep.
Yeah, I've talked to him the last 4 or 5 months. He's been good and persistent, but not too pushy. Perfect guy.
Good.
So,
good to hear.
Yeah, so What's that?
Speaking about being pushy, I have a feeling he might be calling you next Monday.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Boston next Monday, but I am definitely on board. I like what you guys are doing. I am definitely drinking the Kool-Aid. I appreciate what you do.
All right. Well, our Kool-Aid is not poisoned. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mike.
I'm going to be in. Thanks a lot. Take care.
All right. Thank you, sir. Great group of people today, guys. Thank you. We had 3 or 4 of our long-term, highly successful people. We had a lot of brand new people. Good mix of stories. Great participation. I want to end this call like I always do. I want to thank all 100+ of you for being here. You took the time to be here. Appreciate you staying around until the end. And I want to challenge each of you. Take one idea, one thing, one thought, one technique you heard on the call today. Go out and put it into practice and come back next Thursday and share your results with the group. Thank you so much, guys. Make it a great week, and we will talk to you same time next Thursday. Take care.